It's so good to be back. It's been a while since I've made a tutorial, but better late than never. So let's get started. I will be playing in a lower octave than usual. I will be playing mainly an octave below middle C, or C4, and this is mainly where my right hand is going to be, just because it's a lower sounding song, so I'm going to keep it mainly in this octave. Good thing is that the chord progression is pretty consistent throughout the entire song, so not a ton to keep track of, and that gives you more opportunity to do whatever you want and play around with it as you please. Also, keep in mind, this is, I don't personally know the band, so this may or may not be 100% accurate, but this is what I heard, and this is what I've come up with. Alright, let's begin with the introduction. I will play it for you first, and then I will break it down. Alright, so those notes are F sharp, E, F sharp, G, C, G, B, G, F sharp, E, E, D. Okay? And then the left hand is just going to play in the octave below that, just whole notes D, C, G, and then C again. That's pretty much it. And now I will show you what it looks like both hands together. Okay, so now we're getting into verse 1, and these are the chords that I heard. Take it with a grain of salt. So it starts off with a D chord, D, F sharp, A, and then I move to a C chord, C, E, G, and then the next chord is a G chord, but I don't want to move my hand around a bunch, so I just play it in this hand position with B in the root, so B, D, G, and then I go back to C. And that's pretty much it. Just that little movement, just D, and then C, and then G, back to C. Getting into the pre-chorus, it's the same chord progression, but I like to add a little something something to it. My only change is, so I start at D, and then I go to C, pretty much the same as the first verse, but then for that final C chord, instead I play a C major 7 chord. So we have B, C, E, and G, and I just play it with my thumb for both, although you can do thumb, second finger, middle finger, and fifth finger if that's easier for you. And then after that, it goes back into the same chords. I do D. This time I move my hand up a little bit for the C chord, so I have E, G, C, and then the G chord with this new position of D, G, B, and then here I'm still going to play the C major 7 chord, which now is C, E, G, B. So all together, that's we made it to the chorus. Same chords essentially. I like to change it up just a little bit, so I'll show you a few possible things you can do. So I'll do C, or not C, this is a D chord, and then C, and then G again, and I'll switch it up a bit by playing D and G and then switching to C and E to complete the C chord. Then it goes back to D, and then C, and then G, and then C major 7 like this with E, G, B, C. And here's it all together. Also essentially does that same thing in the bridge part. I won't go over anymore just because I personally don't change it up that much more. I might, get a little more exciting with the rhythms in my right hand or my left hand, but for the most part, I just do a combination of something from the pre-chorus or from the chorus or maybe from the verse, just to shake it up. But after the bridge, it gets into sort of the introduction part, it does that again, and then it goes back to the chorus, and then it does the bridge thing again, and now we're at the ending. Now for the ending, that's entirely up to you. This is where you can really show off your creativity. What I personally like to do is I like to add a few flourishes up the piano. And the important thing that I do is I tend to do that with the final chord, which I choose to be the C major 7 chord. But yeah, here is an example of what I do for the ending. So with that ending, I just played the notes involved in the C major 7 chord. You can do this in whatever order you so choose. And then I end it with B, E, B, and then E, B, E, just to add a little sprinkle of goodness in there at the end. Yeah, that's it. If you have any more questions, definitely feel free to drop those in the comments. And attached, I will also include my cover of it so you can hear what it all sounds like together.